The Daily Blink used to propose a magnificent healing spec for warriors called Triage. Our own warrior spec for today is precisely nothing like that. Sorry to disappoint you, but healing warriors are just a terrible idea and it should remain as a glorious joke. Our idea, however, is way better, so stay tuned to discuss the Weapon Master spec for warriors. I am not a mind reader, but I already know you are thinking that Arms Warrior is indeed the Weapon Master Warrior, and by all means you aren't wrong at all. This spec idea is directly in tune with the old Arms Warrior concept, which allowed you to spend talent points to specialize into different weapon types. I always thought this was kinda cool as it enabled a couple of really interesting combinations. However, as we all know, Arms always had a focus on two-handed weapons. Even in vanilla and now classic, Arms could combine two-handed weapon specialization with polearm specialization to provide with two talents that benefited two-handed weapons. Eventually, as we all know, Arms ended up officially being a two-handed class instead of dual-wielding multiple weapons. And that's what I want to bring with the Weapon Master, a spec that focuses on proving that nobody's better than warriors when it comes to weapons. Weapon Masters would fill a melee DPS role and their main resource would be rage in order to stay within a traditional warrior setting. They dual-wield swords, axes and maces with different benefits depending on each weapon. But enough introductions, let's give a quick look at some of these spec skills and talents. In the middle of battle, Weapon Masters are a force to be reckoned with. The main attack for these warriors is Double Strike, which instantly hits the target with both weapons and has a short cooldown. Their passive skill, Weapon Mastery, is their trademark, adding a bonus effect to different weapons. While using swords, each attack has a chance of provoking an additional attack on the same target for half the initial damage. Axes make the target bleed for considerable damage over 9 seconds, an effect that stacks multiple times, but each application doesn't refresh the duration. Finally, maces apply a debuff to the target that increases the damage received from your auto attacks. Spare Weapon is another passive skill that will help us to fully understand this spec spirit. Spare Weapon allows the warrior to equip a third weapon that remains inactive and provides no stats unless it becomes an active weapon. In order to do this, Weapon Masters have Rapid Swap, which quickly switches their offhand weapon with a spare weapon and has a 25-second cooldown. To also take advantage of Spare Weapon, Secret Throw quickly unleashes the extra weapon, applying your Weapon Mastery effect. Secret Throw blocks the use of Rapid Swap but enables using Retrieve Weapon, which allows the warrior to recover the spare weapon, dealing damage and resetting the cooldown on Secret Throw. Another upside of Retrieve Weapon is that it can be used while unarmed to recover your weapon and cleanse this effect from you. To deal with multiple enemies, Mortal Wind attacks the closest 5 enemies within 8 yards, applying a different effect depending on your active weapons. Swords increase the number of targets by 1, axes increase critical strike damage by 50%, and maces deal 20% additional damage. The mastery for this spec is Weapons Proficiency, empowering your Weapon Mastery even further. This means that each point of mastery will increase all proc chances, damage and duration of all benefits provided by Weapon Mastery. Some of the Weapon Master talents include Touch of Odin, which gives auto attacks a chance to reset the cooldown and remove the cost of the next double strike. Weapon Dancing reduces the cooldown on Rapid Swap by 10 seconds and also increases attack speed by 15% for 10 seconds after using Rapid Swap. Destroy your opponents with Iron Storm, a channeled ability that performs several attacks with your 3 weapons over 9 seconds, taking full advantage of your Weapon Mastery effects. Finally, Thoradin's Onslaught provides the warrior with the power of the Great Barbarian King, removing Retrieve Weapon from Secret Throw but greatly increasing the damage for this skill. Wreak havoc among your enemies, overpower any foe, show your opponents your outstanding skill with weapons, and prove your supremacy on the battlefield. So, are you now as excited as I am? I would definitely play this spec without a doubt. Before saying anything else, I must tell you that I really like the idea of Retrieve Weapon cleansing disarm effects. It's a unique mechanic that no other class has, and I think it's directly in tune with this spec's fantasy. However, what I like most about this build is all the possible weapon combinations. You can benefit from having 3 different weapons, but you can also make the most of having 3 equal weapons. For example, 3 axes would greatly stack the bleed effect from Weapon Mastery before it expires. 3 swords mean a storm of extra attacks, while 3 maces mean 3 different debuffs on your target that increase your damage output. However, you also have to consider the benefits provided by Mortal Wind and Iron Storm to make the right choice of weapons for your AoE damage. I am pretty sure there would be a ton of pro players calculating the best possible combination, but you also have to consider possible weapon on-hit effects. I wanted to add a fourth and a fifth weapon types to the combo to spice things up, but I think it would be just impossible to balance. Or wouldn't it? What do you guys think? What talents and skills ideas does this spec bring to your mind? Regarding the faction to unlock weapon masters, I think it would obviously be the Valar Jar, although I am also thinking in a mid-range spec called Spirit Champion or something like that, which would be also in line with the Valar Jar. But please do tell me your thoughts. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you want more content based on Warcraft, check the novel I wrote called Ambassadors. I will leave a link in the description below to download it for free. I will be seeing you around with more content rated W for Warcraft.